Hey, it's Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and this evening I'm joined by
Kristoffer from the band 6'6" from Gothenburg, Sweden.
It's awesome to be chatting to you tonight. End of All is a totally addictive album that I can't simply get enough of. How pleased are you with it, and are you getting anxious or impatient waiting for its release in December?
Well, I can tell you this, it's been a long time coming because it was actually finished more or less a year ago. But the problem in, the COVID situation and my best mate to help me out with the designing booklets and stuff, he was one of the first to come down with COVID. So he was in a ventilator for 6 weeks and hospitalized for 108 days. So that kind of put some problem in the wheels, let me tell you this. But now I'm very pleased that it's coming. I can't wait.
The first album was really a project, wasn't it? So was it a fair comment to call this your second album? Or?
Yes, I would, because the first, I kind of had my midlife crisis with the first one. So I just decided on my 38th or 39th birthday it was. I just decided, damn, I should do some more heavy metal before I stop doing music. So the first album I did, me, myself and I wrote it, I recorded it, and we mixed it all in 7 weeks. And during the mix of that album, together with Kristoffer, who now is the guitar player, we just felt that this needed to be a band. So we started the band after the first album was already made, because I'm doing everything on that one. So this is like the first proper one, and this is the first where we actually, we perform as a band.
It's a traditional metalheads album as well, and it's full of power and totally addictive. Would you say that's a fair comment?
I'm very happy that you, and I think it's a fair comment, because I have to say that we are very proud of it, and we took a long time fixing with the songs, and we arranged the songs. And I'm an old school metalhead myself. I'm a proper Maiden fan. I love Judas Priest, and there's nothing wrong. I love a lot of band with a lot of keyboards and stuff in it. But I just felt that I need like a proper heavy metal. We need skulls and rivets and leather, So this is just a proper heavy metal album, and this is the way we like to do it.
Which song would you say is your favourite today, and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. They're all my babies. But, well, I can tell you this. The first one I wrote is Welcome to Your Nightmare. And that one was actually, the whole album was supposed to be named that way. But then we realized it's too close to what Alice Cooper released many, many years ago. And since the whole pandemic started, we thought that, End of All is kind of suitable. So, favorite song as of right now, I think it actually is Welcome to Your Nightmare, because we are doing the music video for that one together with Patrick Elias. And I can tell you this, my friend, the video will be a killer. We have spent so much time on it, and it looks so effing brilliant. So I'm very proud of that one. So now I'm very into the Nightmare, Welcome to Your Nightmare. But I also have to say, the one that I'm proudest to have written is the tricky one, the I Am Your King. It's a very complex, and I have to be honest with you, I think it kind of came out a little bit too rough, but I really like recording and playing that one and singing that one.
Yeah, that's my favourite track on the album, actually, I'm Your King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then
I'm very happy to hear.
And Blood Will Out, but I mean, I'm Your King is definitely my favourite, I think. Mm-hmm. So, would you consider doing a concept album at some stage?
We actually talked about it, because I'm a big fan of old concept albums. It could happen. The thing is, when I used to be in Falconer, it was always concept albums, or more or less concept albums. And the first album I was on with Falconer was the Scepter of Deception, which was a concept. And we kind of fought with that one, because sometimes it's easy to just think of a concept. But then you need to kind of find songs, rhythm, and the harmonics, and you need to kind of... It's a little bit more trickier than I actually think people think it is. So, perhaps. I can't tell you a proper yes, and I definitely can't tell you a proper no.
The Last Days of Our Lives is a song about Dunkirk. How important for you personally is it that these historic events are remembered?
Do you know what? I actually got that question from our record label. And Sweden, we weren't in the actual, we were kind of neutral in the war. But I really think, especially in these times of kind of dark turmoil all over the world, I think it's very, very important to remember that things can really go to fucking hell, and they don't need to do. So I think it's important with history is important because we can learn a lot from history, even though we have a slight disturbing way to kind of repeat it. But I think it's good to learn from history.
Absolutely. I love the album artwork. Can you tell us about the story behind it, and would you be having that framed around your home?
You know what? There's a very long story about the actual artwork because this is Stan W. Jacker, the French artist who made this one, and it's made because of the year 2020, because of the pandemic. So we choose the actual plague doctor because, the world is plagued right now. So I thought that was very fitting to the album. We tried out some other concepts first with him, but we always got back to the plague doctor. But mate, I have to tell you, it was a long way. We tried 4 different artists, and I think 5 or 6 different artworks. And no, it's not framed yet, but yes, it will be framed.
You're doing vinyl releases, aren't you? Will it be like a poster insert with that?
You know what? We're not doing a vinyl release, and it's not my decision. That is a question you have to ask to the Scarlet Records, because I'm not sure why we're not releasing a vinyl. But I kind of learned that Swedish labels are all in for vinyls, and European labels are more for still going CD. So I'm kind of thinking that the new future retro is CD. So we are very, very future retro.
Okay, no worries. So would you be able to go out on tour or even just do a live album stream on release date? Is that a plan?
You know what? The thing is that we have had quite soft rules here about the pandemic. So there was a full-blown release party with a full concert planned at Hard Rock Cafe here in Gothenburg. But now we have new restrictions, so that one is actually off. And we are looking for a way to stream it, but I'm not sure if it will be done, but I will try to do my best to make it happen.
Excellent. So obviously it's nearly the end of the year now, thank God. What do you think your plans will be for gigs and tours next year, and when do you think they'll commence? I mean, personally, I think it's going to be another 6 months, maybe more.
You know what? I host a radio show here in Gothenburg, and we always talk about this. And both me and my co-host, Kristoffer, we always talk about this, that we think that 21 is also just no shows. I want it to be shows. I bought a hell of a lot of tickets. They're still valid for next year. Both Iron Maiden, Rammstein, and a lot of different bands. And my living is a touring musician. So my only profession is playing live music. So I'm suffering like hell. I'm kind of going bankrupt here quite soon. So I'm the first one to really hope for us to get started again. But I'm not sure. And the thing is, if things turns out that we can do gigs, I will be very proud to try to get some gigs all around Europe with the 6'6". But as of now, we have no idea.
If you were stuck in quarantine for a year, which musician, dead or alive, would you have with you and why?
Dude, these questions are really good and they are really hard to answer. Do you know what? As I said, I have a radio show called Wolfbrand and Goebel, and we kind of do the similar questions, and for every week there's a new answer. So if I'm going to tell you one, I'm a massive Bruce Dickinson fan, but I kind of, through the years, learned that you shouldn't really meet your idols because sometimes you can get a bit disappointed. But I would really like to kind of hang out with Bruce Dickinson. Or perhaps Jack Black. He seems like a fun dude. Cool. Or, I'm not sure. That's a hard one.
Okay, yeah, that's like Sebastian Bach. He's one of my idols, but I could have met him. I've interviewed him, but I've never met him in person. And I could have gone on his tour bus and everything, but I just thought, nah, I don't do it. He's supposed to be, he might have been having an arsehole day, so nah.
Yeah. Can I tell you a really weird story about that?
Yeah.
I used to do interviews for a Swedish net magazine called Crank It Up.
Right.
And we done a lot of interviews, and one of the nicest guys ever is the singer of System of a Down, Seb Di Gatto. He was great. But then we did Zakk Wylde, and everyone told us, oh my God, Zakk is having a bad day. You will not have a good interview today. And so we were kind of in a strange mood going to interview him. And then we did the interview inside the venue where they were playing. But he said himself, well, I'm not comfortable here. Let's go into the tour bus. So we went out to the tour bus. And yeah, he was in a strange mood. But we did the interview and it was kind of fine. Took only 10 minutes. It was a short one. Mm-hmm. But when we turned off the camera, he was the sweetest and most kind person I met for such a long time. So we just sat there talking for, I think, 1 hour after we turned the camera off. We should have had it rolling, but that was a very cool thing to do. So I can tell you, Zakk Wylde, in a good mood, is a very good guy.
Cool. That's awesome, man. Okay, then. So going back in time, can you remember the first time you ever played live and how it felt to have people watching you?
Oh, I can tell you, this is so weird because, with our band, our cover band, it's called Rock Circus, and we kind of dress up with makeups, and we're like a cover band, but we kind of took the Kiss concept, and still to this day, I always get nervous before entering stage, and I think it's a good thing because then you kind of shape in your nerves a little bit. But the first time, I think I was 14, 15 years old, and it was like this local, I don't know what you call it, but when you're kids after school, there's kind of a place where you can hang out with, they're not really teachers, but they're like, I don't know what you call it, but it was at one of these places that we start to rehearse, and they did like a show with all their bands, and I was so nervous, so I can't even remember that we got through it, but we did, of course, but I can still remember that feeling that the earth is just opening underneath me and I'm falling into a black pit, but afterwards I felt very, very happy, and I've never stopped doing it since, so I guess it was kind of okay.
Which 3 Swedish bands would be your ultimate touring buddies?
Also, you are asking very good questions. Well, I have to say, a lifelong band that I love is Europe, with Joey Tempest and the guys. I would love to tour with them. And a buddy of mine, Jake E. from Syra, he's a great friend of mine. I would love to tour with Syra. And I mean, just for the thing, to go with, open for Sabaton or something like that would be great in kind of a business perspective. Sabaton is really, it's not my favorite band. I don't dislike them in any way, but if I'm going to do another one, I'm not sure. I think those 3, Sabaton, Syra, or Europe.
Excellent. That's brilliant, man. Okay, then. I'm going to know what you're going to answer this then, because you're a big Iron Maiden fan. What's the most memorable concert you've been to?
Oh, that's a hard one. I've seen every single Iron Maiden tour since 1991. and I kind of really like them all. But I've seen so many of them, so I know them. But I have to tell you this: one of my absolute best concert memories was actually from last year. A buddy of mine and I, we went to Holland to watch Arion perform live. You know, Ian Lucasen's Arion.
Yeah.
And there's a little town called Tilburg. Tilburg, I don't know how you Tilburg.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it. And the venue there is such a great venue, and the sound was brilliant, and the bars were great, and the system that you paid for your drinks was good, and the whole city of Tilburg was really into helping out for the concert, so you could have an Arion burger or an Arion beer. So that was a really, really cool experience. So I have to say, even though it's a bit boring and it's very, very close, I think that the Arion concert in Tilburg last year was top 3. And I also have to say that, well, you know, have you ever seen Rammstein? You know,
Oh
Rammstein?
my God, yes.
I mean, those shows are just bloody amazing. We saw them probably 10 years ago here in Sweden. Me and my buddy Snowy Shaw from, you know, King Diamond and Dream Evil and such a thing. We went to see the show, and we just looked at each other. After 20 minutes, we thought they said that the show was ending. And we were like, what? They only played like 15, 20 minutes. They have been running for over 2 hours. So they are good.
Yeah, I've seen him in Newcastle about 3 or 4 years ago. It was amazing. I wasn't a big fan. My partner at the time, she was, and it was just amazing. We're right by the front as well when the fire pyrotechnics and that go off. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's totally
they really
amazing.
know how to put on a show.
Absolutely, yeah, totally, man.
I have to say another weird band that I really love because they were like big when I was a teen. It was Green Day. Have you seen Green Day?
Yeah, not a fan, but yeah, they're all right. Dookie, is it the album Dookie? I think I had that one.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
even though when they're out touring these days, the energy they have on stage is just mind-blowing. So I just went to see them because for old memory's sake, and I was just blown away by the joy they kind of produced from the stage. They really loved their thing, so that was actually a great band.
Right, your old band Volcaner recently called it a day. Were you surprised that they have stopped? That's it, they've finished now.
Well, you know, we are still very good friends, Stefan and I, and you know, Stefan, the band leader of Faulkner, he is co-writing some of the songs of the new End of All album. He's actually doing the title track, End of All, and the last one he's also co-writing with me. So I knew I knew that it was coming, and Stefan himself, he has. Now I'll give you some insight here, but it's okay. He has terrible stage fright. So he don't like to play live. And Matthias, the singer, great guy, he's working so much in the theater, so I just think they don't have the time and they don't have the energy for it anymore. So I wasn't surprised.
Okay. What would you say has been your biggest musical accomplishment so far?
Actually, to put the 6'6" band together, because I've done a lot of cool gigs, I've done a lot of cool shows, I've been producing a lot of things, but I have to pat my own shoulder because sometimes I can be a little bit of a couch potato, I would say. So for actually making this thing happening is personal achievement for me, because I'm very proud of both the albums, but especially this one. I'm very, very, very proud of it. And so I think actually the 6'6" band is a great achievement for me.
That's amazing. It's honestly, the album's stunning. I love it a bit, mate. I'm going to get it reviewed soon. Next one. If one of your songs from the new album could appear on a soundtrack or any film, cult TV series, which one would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, Welcome to Your Nightmare would probably end up well in a horror movie situation. Blood Will Out. I mean, that song is about alchemists, so I think that one would actually be with the heaviness of it and the power of it. I think that one would be great in a kind of medieval movie, something like that. Of course, I have to say the "In God We Trust" song. That one is about the Inquisition, so I guess that one could end up in a quite cool scene where they're executing priests.
Okay, next one. What song best describes the soundtrack of your life?
Dude, you're asking me all these questions. I kind of need to look at my track list. Okay, I'm opening the track list now.
Yeah, all right.
You know, I have to say that the song Finale Vittoria, I really like that one because that one is such an oddball. That's the odd one out. And that song is the lyrics on that one is in the eye of the beholder, because when I wrote it, I'm not sure what it's about actually, but I just picture myself in different weird situations and then just wrote about it. So that song is actually about strange things happening to people in strange situations. So that one is probably the most authentic one. But as a soundtrack for my life, my God, I'm your king. No, I'm not sure. I have to tell you, I have to give you a very, very boring answer. I'm not sure.
Okay, no worries.
I have to pick one. End of All.
Can you tell us why we should check out End of All?
Well, it's obvious because it's a great album. The songs are very powerful. And they are written with they are very well thought through, I would say, because I spent a lot of time arranging them when I write them. I'm really I'm really doing my best. It's not something that I just throw out on myself. You know, I really put my heart and soul into it. So it's well-produced album with great sound, and I have to say that Kristoffer, our guitar player, he done a great job with the mixing of this one. And I'm really proud of it. So I think you like it because of it's kind of variated, and it's good songs.
The first one is vinyl or digital?
Digital, unfortunately.
Festival or small intimate gig?
Festival.
Right. Important one. ABBA or Sabaton?
ABBA. Every day of the week, without any competition. ABBA.
Okay. Denim or leather?
Denim.
Viking metal or thrash metal?
Viking metal, I think.
Well, I want to thank you for your time this evening. Do you have any final words for your fans and our listeners?
No, I just want you guys to be safe out there and buy the album and listen to it until you die. Hello everyone, this is Kristoffer from the band 6 and you are listening to the Metal Gods Meltdown.